Hi, Lisa here. I've been having some conversations with different people, clients, students, about really all of the turmoil and inner struggle that is coming up for them in this time where we're in the middle of the pandemic, not just a pandemic that is the virus COVID-19, but also the pandemic of fear and losing jobs, being furloughed, being let go, not feeling like there's a lot of opportunity, just generally being scared. And so I wanted to talk today about how do we start to rewrite the narrative for ourselves regarding this pandemic, whichever part of the pandemic you want to focus on. But rewriting the narrative is really important because one narrative keeps us really locked, stuck, trapped, frozen in a space of fear. And it's not that we need to go to a Pollyanna, completely opposite sort of narrative that's like, oh, this is great, it's so perfect, it's brilliant, because it isn't. So I want to honor the fact that it isn't a brilliant, perfect, wonderful narrative. But there is a switch that can happen as we start to rewrite the narrative on what is possible. So I know for a lot of my clients that I've been working with through the years, the conversation that has come up for a few of them who've been furloughed or let go from their organizations or their jobs has been, in this space that has occurred as a result of slowing down in COVID and the shutdowns, re-evaluating, do I even like the direction my life is going? Do I even enjoy the work that I'm doing? Do I feel passion or purpose driving my desire to be in this industry, in this type of job, in this organization? And it's really an opportunity to reevaluate where you're going and what it is that you are meant to be doing on this planet. For a lot of the people that I'm working with, the illusion has been withdrawn from our eyes, taken away, stripped away, that there is absolute safety in working for an organization. You get this loyalty, or there's job security. And I think we're finding that that just isn't true. I don't know that it's ever been true. I mean, I think at one point, maybe in the 50s and 60s, maybe even early 70s, there was more of a sense of loyalty to the employee. But I think as we've seen corporations and organizations change and shift, the loyalty is ultimately to the organization and not to the employee. And I don't know. I liken all organizations to pyramid schemes. Granted, they're not pyramid schemes. They're not fleecing you to get your money so that they can all make money at the top. On the other hand, there is a sense of there are a lot of people doing a lot of work to make it the organization at the top function at its optimal. And I've never been a believer in pyramid schemes, mostly because I don't see why I would join somebody else's pyramid scheme when I could just start my own. So I decided to go into my own business back in 2004 and ultimately leave in 2005 what was a very secure job. I wasn't in any danger of being fired. I really liked what I was doing. I was working for the military. I was working with the Air Force at that time, but I was secure in my job. I wasn't going anywhere. And I enjoyed who I worked with. I enjoyed what I was doing. And yet there was this desire to have more autonomy, to have more agency over how I spent my time, the amount of effort that I was putting into my work, and having that ultimately come back to me in some way that was useful. And there is a lot of fear that goes into leaving what feels like a very secure position and moving into what feels like a very insecure position. And that's really a confidence issue. It's a decision to push through the discomfort of not knowing, not having the sense of illusion of absolutely knowing. And none of us absolutely know really much of anything. So we certainly can't know absolutely what will happen in the future. And that really begs the question, in this time where you have had the opportunity to sit back and look at a situation, maybe feeling betrayed by your organization because they let you go, maybe there have been multiple organizations that have done this through your life. It's an opportunity to reevaluate what it is that you are meant to be doing. And to that end, there are certain steps that people need to go through to move through the discomfort in a way that is most useful. First is having a sense of what is your purpose, having your why. Simon Sinek has a really great TED talk called, your why, finding your why. And it is really important when you start to think about what is the purpose of your life? What is the value you want to bring forward? How do you want to leave a legacy for yourself? What is it that you feel passionate about, and where do you get your energy? I was talking to somebody yesterday about their business, and they're like, I'm made to work with people I don't enjoy working with because of the organization that I worked for. I didn't have any choice over the clients that I took. And we were really just sort of discussing the difference that I experienced, because I only work with people I'm at a hard yes to work with. If I'm not at a hard yes, I make a referral to somebody else, because I want to only work with people I'm passionate about working with, because feeds my enjoyment. I'm excited when I see them on my calendar. I appreciate and respect them. I find myself really buoyed by their courage that they demonstrate as they work through the things that are important to them, to find meaning and purpose and drive and passion for what it is that they want to bring forward into the world. There's also this opportunity to rethink all of that. Do you really want to just go back into a job that is just like the job that you have left? And if the answer's no, maybe I need to think a bit farther ahead and a little bit broader. This is a really important opportunity that we have presented to us right now. It's not an ideal situation, but it's a perfect opportunity. So the narrative shift might be, I need to be secure, safe, etc., by working at an organization who doesn't value my loyalty, appreciates it, wants me to be loyal, wants me to work really hard, but I don't feel the loyalty is reciprocal. To maybe I need to be evaluating where I want to spend my time. Maybe it's starting a nonprofit. Maybe it is going into business for yourself. Maybe it's opening that Etsy store where you're making masks, or finding what it is that brings your heart joy every day to do. It doesn't mean you may not need to have another job for a while, but there are so many ways that you can bring forward your gifts to the world. And there isn't one best way to do that. There are a myriad of ways that you can bring your gifts into the world, and your way is completely unique to you. Nobody else is the you that you can bring forward what your gift is. Other people may be very good at the same exact thing, but they bring it forward in their own unique way. And so it's also about finding that trust in yourself and that sense of agency where you are capable of sitting in and making these choices for yourself, so that you can most bring your best self forward. So I invite you to consider how you might do that, and then get going.